What if everything you knew was a lie? He wakes inside a world of data, but outside, reality is cold. A girl stands alone, wielding power against an unbeatable system. Two lives intertwined. One game, two fates, no reset. Bound by code, surrounded by chaos, their fight has just begun.
They ran into an area where the mist grew even thicker. Ethan's legs were already shaking. He had no idea how long he had been running. He just knew that the monster chasing them hadn't stopped for even a second. "This is nothing like the game I imagined," he shouted between heavy breaths. Seraphine led the way up front, her voice eerily calm. "This isn't a game, Ethan. It's part of your life. You just never noticed before." Ethan gave a bitter laugh. "My life? I wake up, punch in for work, grind for 8 hours, go home, eat instant noodles while watching reruns, then scroll through other people's lives online. And then I do it all again." That's the real bug in the system. They crossed a broken bridge hanging over a bottomless void, where strings of flickering numbers occasionally floated up from the darkness. The world around them felt like shattered memories, pieced together wrong, cracks everywhere. "What's the difference between this place and my office job?" he asked. "Same routines, same orders, no real choices." Seraphine stopped and looked at him. For once, there was a trace of sadness in her eyes. "But here, you have a chance to change your fate. Out there, you're just waiting to be replaced." Ethan panted and looked up at her. "You talk like I have some kind of hidden potential. I'm just a regular guy. My boss overworks me. My girlfriend dumped me. No one cares what I say. I don't even get likes on my posts. I'm not special. I'm not important." Seraphine stepped closer and spoke softly. "You were chosen not because you're special, but because you've lost everything. That means there's space to start over." Suddenly, a loud siren pierced the air. "Alert! Unauthorized activity detected. Zone lockdown will begin in 15 seconds. The air around them started to vibrate. The floor began to distort, like data being compressed too fast. "Move!" Seraphine grabbed his arm and pulled him toward a side passage. "Where are we going?" Ethan shouted. "A temporary node, one of the system's blind spots. They haven't patched it yet." They burst through a half-open metal door and entered a room that looked like a data center. The walls were lined with glowing chips, pulsing, like they were breathing. Ethan leaned over, gasping for air. He looked around. "Where the hell are we? Hacker HQ?" "This is one of the core node fragments," she said, walking toward a central platform and spreading her arms. "We can hide here for a bit, but not for long." Ethan leaned against the wall, closed his eyes, and muttered, "I just wanted to play a game and relax. Now I'm stuck in some life reboot storyline? This is insane." Seraphine opened an interface. A floating screen lit up in the air. "Your data structure is unstable. You're still adapting to the hybrid reality state. You don't even know if you're a player or data now, do you?" Ethan frowned. "How much do you actually know?" She looked down at him, her voice softening. "I know you've been ignored in the real world. Abandoned. Even you don't believe you have worth anymore. But here, at least here, if you're willing to believe, you could be someone's hope. What if I don't believe? Then, you'll end up like the rest of the failures, part of the system, just more corrupted code on the wall." He turned to look at the corner, where rows of flickering error codes lined the walls like tombstones. "They were players too? They were people who came here thinking this was just a game," she said. "Just like you." There was a moment of silence. "I don't want to end up like them," Ethan said quietly. Seraphine gave a small smile. "Then you have to keep going, no matter how crazy or ugly it gets." He nodded. Suddenly, a red light flashed on his wrist. "Emergency. Quest generated. Core node reconstruction. Objective: regain control and ascend to upper level. Time limit: 30 minutes. "Seriously? Can't the system give me a break?" Seraphine opened a hatch in the floor, revealing a hidden ladder. "If you want a break, you'll have to earn it." "I'm starting to think I accidentally joined some creepy cult initiation." She let out a quick laugh, though her eyes remained serious. "You're in a place even cults wouldn't dare touch." They climbed down to the lowest level. It looked like a city in ruins. Every building seemed pulled from an unfinished dream, floating. Towers with shattered glass, streets shifting between cobblestone and glitching grid lines. They entered a warped data skyscraper. Inside were flickering projections, ghostly memories of past players. A girl sat crying on a bed. A man drank and mumbled to himself. These weren't NPCs. They were real people once. Ethan stopped, eyes filled with hesitation. Are we watching someone else's life playback? The system absorbed these leftover memories, Seraphine said. They've become part of this place, trapped here forever. He stared at one projection, a young man repeating, "I'm quitting tomorrow," over and over again. Ethan let out a dry laugh. This guy's way too familiar. You still have a chance not to become him, she replied. How do I know I can? You don't, she said, but you can choose to try. Deeper inside the floor, a glowing blue door appeared. Words, above it read, Core Node, Reconstructing. Ethan stepped toward it and put his hand on the handle. What waited inside might be a fresh start, or something worse. But this time he didn't want to run. Even if reality had betrayed him, even if the game had turned into hell, he wanted to prove he could still carve a path forward. He turned to Seraphine. All right, he said. This time, I'm all in. The door opened.